welcome to episode 52 of FTCE Seminar, a teacher certification podcast. I'm your host, Mercedes Musto. Today, we will be talking about how to interpret key features of linear equations or graphs. This is going to help you prepare for the FTCE General Knowledge Mathematics subtest. So let's get started. Concept 1, key features of linear equations or graphs. So exactly what are we talking about, right? All right, today we're zooming in on linear equations and their graphical counterparts. What does that mean? It means lines. We're talking about lines, and more specifically, lines on a graph. Hear me out. A line on a graph can be defined by any 2 points. Remember, when we're talking about linear equations and graphs, we're taking a look at how to interpret these points and these lines, like the slope and y-intercept. Remember that whole slope-intercept formula, the y equals mx plus b? Fascinating. I know. But why are linear equations so important? Because they present proportional relationships. Now, imagine you're mowing lawns and charge a flat fee of $5, y-intercept represented by b, plus an additional $2 per lawn mowed, slope-intercept represented by m. The linear equation for your earnings could be y equals 2x plus 5, where x is the number of lawns mowed and y is your total earnings. So the equation itself tells a story, but how do we interpret the graph of that equation? Interpretation: the slope of the line tells you the rate of change. In our lawn mowing example, the slope is 2. This means for every lawn you mow, x increases by 1. Your earnings increase by $2, which is y increases by 2. And what about the y-intercept? Remember the y-intercept is the point where the line crosses the y-axis. In this case, the y-intercept represents the starting point in our story. In the lawn mowing example, the y-intercept is 5. This means even if you mow 0 lawns, meaning x equals 0, you still have a base fee of $5, y equals 5. Now let's talk about the graph. Since we're dealing with lines on the graph, we could start by finding another point on the line. Yes, exactly. We can use the slope and y-intercept to do this. Since the slope tells us the rise over run. Back up. What is rise over run? Oh, I'm going to ask you to visualize again. Visualize a line on the graph with 2 points on it. We can find the slope of the line, m, by dividing the change in y, rise, by the change in run, x. This m equals rise over run. Stay with me now. Let's take a look at our original equation again. You were mowing lawns for a flat fee of $5, y-intercept, plus an additional $2 per lawn mowed, slope. The linear equation for your earnings could be y equals 2x plus 5, where x is the number of lawns mowed and y is your total earnings. Now, you know the slope and the y-intercept. The slope is 2 and the y-intercept is 5. So let's talk about how this plots on a graph. The y-intercept is 5, and that corresponds to the point, parentheses, 0, 5, parentheses. So x is 0 and y is 5, meaning you could put a point on the y-axis at 0 and 5 on the graph. Okay, we're doing so great here. You're doing great. Okay, see now the slope is 2. Think of the slope in terms of rise over run. 2 is a positive number, so from the point at 0, 5, we will rise 2 and run, move to the right, 1. Now we can set a point at 1, 7. Connect the points and draw a line. We can keep going like this to graph a linear equation in a slope-intercept form. Let's review. Remember that when talking about linear equations and graphs, we're taking a look at how to interpret points and lines, like the slope and y-intercept. 2 formulas you need to be familiar with are the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, and how to find the slope, which is m, equals the change in y divided by the change in x. Got it? Good. Man, algebra is so fascinating. It was simply fascinating, especially when we apply algebraic concepts to answer real-world questions. Okay. I know that no one charges $5 for a line service, so can I get a throwback Thursday on that one? Yeah. But basically, understanding slope and y-intercept empowers us to interpret the hidden messages within linear equations and graphs. For more practice with math, visit ftceseminar.com to study for the test. The important thing is to start studying today so you can pass the teacher certification exam. Well, what are you waiting for? Check us out on YouTube at FTCE Seminar and start studying today. This podcast was recorded at the Pickens Multimedia Studio at the University of West Florida. This podcast is listener supported. Contributions can be made via the listener support link on Spotify. This is your host, Mercedes Musto. Join me again at FTCE Seminar, a teacher certification podcast so you could pass the FTCE.